and then there were 4. The playoff teams have been decided for the Indian Premier League 2020. Mumbai Indians, the Delhi Capitals, Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore are the 4 teams who have made it to the last 4. Sunrisers Hyderabad had a must-win game today against Mumbai Indians, and then they won by a comprehensive 10-wicket margin to make it to the playoffs. And in the process, Kolkata Knight Riders are eliminated. Shayan, we all thought that, like the last few games, we think I at least thought that it'll be a exciting game where the contest will be drawn out until the last ball, but then the chasing team has been having the upper hand where they finish off the games quickly. It seems to be like a one-sided contest in some ways. And what is to get into the verdict now? What was your hit from this match?
Aashin, like you said, it was an interesting match. Let's not forget, it was a one-sided victory. But as far as if you are a SRH fan, then it was perhaps the best match you had in the tournament. For me, the hit is definitely Wriddhiman Saha. Because, yes, of course, David Warner, there's no way that you can ignore him. The captain has led from the front, scored a brilliant 80+ innings, which is brilliant. But having said that, Wriddhiman Saha has been a revelation of sorts in this tournament, because he is one player which, who had to prove at every point that he is fit for this format. And what a tournament he has had so far. He has had limited opportunities and he has made every opportunity count. So, it's not easy for an international cricketer to warm the bench for a long time. And then, but what Riddhi has done is he has counted those negatives into a positive, and those eventually helped him, get into the groove. It's not easy to open with David Warner, somebody who is known for his attacking style of play. Riddhi is more soft. Takes time, but this IPL has been completely different. It reminds me of the 2014 edition of Wriddhiman Saha.
Kings 11 Punjab.
Yes.
Yeah, he's nowhere and plays these kind of matches in the IPL. Like you seem like he seems to be the forgotten man, but then he has his moments in this tournament.
Yeah, and I guess it's not for nothing that his close friends and colleagues jokingly call him the Superman. So that's what he's called in many of the circuits, even though his nickname is Papali. Anyway, moving on. What is your hit, Aashin?
Mine, I would have to go with Shahbaz Nadeem, the left-arm spinner from Sunrisers. 2 for 18 today against Mumbai Indians, packed with left-handers. They were De Kock, Ishan Kishan, Krunal Pandya and Saurabh Tiwari. And he managed to get the wicket of Surya Kumar Yadav and Krunal Pandya. And Pandya got out for a 3-ball duck. That kind of changed the momentum of the Mumbai's innings in favor of Sunrisers, where they couldn't because Surya Kumar was at the time getting himself set. He was on 35. He was on 35 or something, and that turned out to be a key wicket. And he, mind you, the first 2 balls he bowled today went for boundaries, and from then on, he didn't concede any boundaries. He finished with figures of 18 runs, which is mad in playing in Sharjah. And he has so many variations in his bowling. He even bowled I think it was a couple of leg breaks also he sneaked in. And there was another ball which he was discussing in the post-match interview where he manages to hit the ball on the seam and gets it to spin further. And he was describing it so nonchalantly, he seemed so calm about it. And this is for someone who hasn't played many games this season, only in the last stretch of the season where he's been a constant in the team, and he's got his rewards today for sticking to what his plan is. He didn't give much room for the batsman to go after. Even the wicket of Surya Kumar, when Surya stepped to the leg side, he pushed it wide and then made it much slower for him to reach out to. And in the process, Surya Kumar had to reach out and get stumped. So a super performance from Shahbaz today. Moving on to the disappointments, we could say the misses from this game. What was your miss of the day?
For me, the miss was Rohit Sharma. And there's been a lot going on about his fitness.
Yeah.
The BCCI chief says that he's having a injury and it takes some time for him to recover. That's the reason he's not on that flight to Australia. Rohit Sharma says, no, I'm absolutely fine. Nothing is wrong with me. Hopefully, I'll go on from here. But today, he came, he saw, and he didn't quite conquer. It was actually quite a flop show from him. Yeah, it was obvious, right? It's just that a batsman like Rohit Sharma just needs one good day to shine. So that's not a problem. But the problem here is there's too much of uncertainty going on. Whether he's fit or he's just trying to be fit, that's the major concern here. Because if he's fit, then of course the Mumbai Indians can be optimistic about the playoffs and of course would be hoping to make it to the final. But if he's not fit and if he's rushing in that case, then that could be a major area of concern, not only for the franchisee but for the cricketer himself in the longer run. So, keeping everything in mind, I felt Rohit Sharma rushed, but then that's how cricket is.
I think the other option would have been for him to come into the qualifier one. It would have been a high stake game. So probably he just wants to get into the feel of being in a match arena again after 4 games, right? Yeah.
Yeah. See, perfect. It's if that's the thing, there's no. I would say it's a good move. But having said that, there's too much confusion. Like I said, one is not sure about at what level, at what extent is the injury. If he is not injured, then why is he not traveling? Is he not a part of the Australian tour to Australia? And if he's not fit, then how come he's playing? So there's some communication gap in between for sure. And what about you? What's your miss?
See, for Mumbai, particularly, I would say that they missed someone like Bolt and Bumrah in the side. But again, since this was a game where they probably wanted to experiment with Kulkarni coming in and Coulter Nile, they were the bowlers who came in place of them. And it just seemed like, the opening, because Bolt is someone who's been taking power play wickets constantly. I think he has 12 wickets in the power play, which is the most in this edition by any bowler. And Bumrah, we all know, last time in Sharjah, what he did against Chennai Super Kings. So those were, now I can't say that they were the miss from this game, but then the power play wickets were missing for Mumbai Indians. And Pattinson, when he came on to bowl against Warner, he 3 back-to-back fours of that, got the ball rolling for Warner himself, because Warner was getting bogged down at the other end. That helped him, break the shackles. And yeah, so 6 overs, 56 runs. And that kind of Sunrisers had taken one third of the step to achieving the target. So that was the only miss I could pick out from what was a experimental game for Mumbai Indians more than anything. So yeah, can't say much, but then they'll take lessons from this before the big qualifier on Thursday.
Yeah, but definitely for Mumbai Indians, it was more about getting the house in order before the final examination. So it's that, and one would hope that Mumbai Indians actually, has got the combination right, leading to the playoffs. But of course, having said that, Sunrisers Hyderabad were outstanding. I mean, the way they came back and the way they fought and the way things were tight. Let's admit, and it's not easy to keep keep one's cool and then ensure that team goes through to the playoffs and with all the requirements. So it's a collective effort, and team Hyderabad have just shown that.
Yeah, 4 back-to-back wins to, I think, or 4 or 3, to get to the playoffs. Superb achievement.